All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. As always, open up that foldable, get on that tablet, do whatever you need to do to watch this in the best resolution. So I've had this device now for officially a week, and I have some things to say. So let's go back to where it started with me, was the design. So this design here, you eventually, when you have something, you know what I mean, you get over the thing that excited you the most, like how thin this thing is. You get over it and you realize, man, it is a hit. It's a hit. The hardware is banging. You know what I'm saying? It's a good looking foldable for one, and you just kind of get past what you think is so beautiful about it. And to me, it's the hardware, the design of this thing. Now, when I say get past it, I don't mean like I'm bored with and I'm just not interested in talking about it anymore. This is, to me, the best body on a foldable right now. This is the best body on a foldable, hands down. I like how small and slim the hinge is. Hinge game is all right. It's very minimal around here. And the back has grown on me because it looks like this design is what companies are just gonna start doing, is these circular design. It's probably easier for them to put the camera modules in the way they want them to be and things like that. So I'm past that already because it is a smaller camera module. And I put this here, this OnePlus 13, so you can see the size of the camera module. Because the OnePlus 13 to me is the best slab phone that I have right now. And I've been using this one. And so, you know, coming from the 13, it's an easy thing to kind of get used to this camera module right here. It's a very good looking back end combination. Now, this isn't my favorite camera module. Let's be clear. I've gotten used to it. I'm over it. It's a good combination here. So I like the hinge game. The camera module has grown on me only because I was using the OnePlus 13 since launch. And then it's the subtle touches around here, like around the antenna module here. You see how the design of this white area, this silky white or misty white, or whatever you want to call it, it kind of slopes up. You can see a little bit of that polished on there. And this little polished area right here on the back mirrors the camera, no pun intended, mirrors the camera module. And they brushed all this around here, but then the sides are they polished, and then the sides are actually brushed. And I think this is just where it's at, man. I think all phones should have brushed sides if they're going to have this kind of silver tone to them. That's just me. I know some people might like it, because obviously on the OnePlus 13, that was not my only gripe. But you can see here next to it just how thin this freaking phone is. You can see the polished versus the brushed. I just think the brushed looks so much better. Now, they went real thin with this phone, and then they also went polished or brushed around here. And so it makes it look even sleeker. And if I bring in the V3 looks thinner because it's a darker color. It looks thinner because it's a darker color. So where's the V3 at? V3, where you at? Oh shoot, it's so thin, it's sitting right in front of my face. So the V3 looks thinner because it's a darker color. And again, same type of camera module. So yeah, and the black does look fire though. So just bear that in mind. But I think if you decide that you are going to look at this hardware, and I saw all the colors, and I'm just glad the misty white looks the way it looks. It has like this, I put up a post on social media and shot with a different camera and HDR. You could really see all the silkiness. This should have been called Silky White if it was me. If I would have named this if I was the company. I would have called it Silky White because it has like this velvety look in the materials on the back, and it's a soft touch matte. So this is the one to me. Now, if you come around to the front, again, if you didn't notice, it's actually polished around the front of the grill like it is polished around the back side of the phone, and it's just it does well. Now, this has a 6.2 inch display on the front, if I'm not mistaken. yeah, this has the 6.2 inch display. So with that, you know, I think they probably could have kept this body and then went up to a 6.7. Because around here, you see, like, now that I have a lighter wallpaper on here, you can see the borders or whatever. You can see the borders. And that's just going to be, that's just how it's going to look to you. You know, it doesn't look bad or anything like that. It's just that you can really see the screen is pronounced around what the screen really looks like. So if you have a dark wallpaper on there, like on the V3, you got a dark wallpaper, so you can't really see too much of the border. Yeah. But nonetheless, this is still a 6.2 inch display. And I just don't have any quarrels about it, man. It is absolutely beautiful, stunning in everything that it should be. It is a 120 hertz display as well. So having a 120 hertz display with a peak brightness of 2450. Now the peak brightness is something that, you know, will I ever hit that? I don't know. But it still is there. So regularly this will go up to 1600. And when you think about that, that's incredible, man. That's just flowing along. Brightness can hit 1600 on this outer display. Yeah. Both displays are LTPO OLED, which is just crazy. The inner, and I say both, I mean inner and outer display, both have LTPO OLED displays with Dolby Vision, HDR10 plus, HDR Vivid, and they're both just stupid with the brightness, man. It just looks really good. Now this is a 8.12 inch display. If you're putting things on this display to watch, man, you're gonna, and what I'm trying to do, folks, I'm trying to give you more content that's enjoyable on a folding device. Because the fact of the matter is, if I fire up a video that's not one of my own, I haven't seen anybody else really, and I'm not looking. Now, I'm sure there's people out there that shoot in this aspect ratio when I tell you guys open up, you know what I'm saying? Like open up and enjoy a full screen. There are some things that just look better on a foldable. And I'm going to fire up a video here because I want to show you the video quality on here, which is good. And then I also play a video that I recorded in this aspect ratio on this phone so you can see what it looks like. So let me fire up a video and then I'll play both for you. Now this is full screen right here with the phone. This is a full screen video, but this is shot in 16:9. Now, just looking at the quality here, it's beautiful. Let me clear out these. Let me just turn the brightness up a little bit. Beautiful, beautiful display. But if I want to go full screen, I lose some of the resolution here. Let me turn up the resolution. As a matter of fact, it's up here and it's in freaking 480. This looks good. Oh, that's super clear. This display definitely is so beautiful. But if I'm watching, this is about as best I can do. And that's a 1.7 crop on there. You start to lose depending on how the camera's being panned, but this is what you get, man. This is what you get when you are watching a video on a phone like this. So that's why I like to shoot in the aspect ratio that I'm shooting in. I really, really enjoy not just talking about like full screen viewing on foldable phones, but I think this screen is a great screen. It is a beautiful display. Now the open display like this with the open is 2248 by 2480, which is 412 pixels per inch, folks. That's a lot of resolution. That's a lot of resolution. This is a phone, man. And so we're talking about big numbers here when it comes to the display and things like that. Because I've really been enjoying using this phone open like this. It's just a hit, man. It is a freaking hit. And it's just one of those things that it just looks so beautiful. But I watch it like this because the majority of the content, and if I turn it like this, it's kind of the same thing. It gets a little bigger, but you know, watching content on a phone like this, and then if you switch it out to the outside display, obviously it's gonna look a little better because this is the full zoom here. Yeah, this is the full zoom. But let me show you what I feel like the aspect ratio you're watching right now. I think this is the way foldable videos should be shot. For foldables, for tablets, if the aspect ratio is right, I think it looks great. Let me load up one of my videos another video that has this aspect ratio for this phone. Now, instantly you can see it's way more. And then if I go full screen, this is what it looks like. But then when I turn, look at this. And then when I zoom, it doesn't even allow me to zoom too far. Like, this is it. And you'll get all of the video, like the video right now. If you do that, depending on which phone and which aspect ratio you have, it's going to come out a certain way. It's going to look really, really good. So I'm going to load up the OnePlus Open real quick, which has obviously a different size screen. And I'm going to load up this same video and we're going to play it for you. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. All right. Now here's what it looks like on the OnePlus Open. You see, I haven't zoomed in yet. Then I hit zoom. Then I turn this way. And this is what it looks like. Got a software up there earlier. But this is what it's working with. Dang, that screen is that little bit that is bigger just looks crazy. But either way, in any foldable device, man, when watching content, this is how I would prefer to watch content. This is the full native video. It's what it is. Like, this is the resolution. This is how it's going to look. And again, even if I zoom out, you really can't even tell. If I go this way, you get a little bit more black bars, but you can go ahead and watch it like this and you still get more screen, and it's still better than most slab phones, because it's not going to look right. So I think that, because I've done so much media on this phone, folks, and so many emails, it's nuts. It's nuts. So I've definitely been doing a lot with this phone. I've even done some recordings. So talking about the cameras, I was watching somebody's little snippet. I try not to watch other people's content when I'm reviewing something myself. But the person said something about these cameras, or even a comment came in one time about, what do you think about the cameras everybody's talking about? I'm like, what's so bad about them? I think a lot of times when a person has so many devices, you'll hone in on one that that you just really like. And for me right now, it's definitely been the OnePlus 13. I think these cameras are flawless, man. And the whole package is perfect, man. It's not a 10 all the way for little tweaks and things that I might complain about, but that's easily a 9.5. At the lowest, a 9. And when it comes to foldables, I feel the same way about this phone. This is easily a 9.5. Easy. Let me show you some content that I recorded on this device. Hopefully I didn't delete it. So here you go. I recorded with this device right here. And so you can see I recorded this on March 8th. This video was done with this phone. And you probably saw this video and you could see it's labeled Oppo Find N down there. It shows the time that I shot it and everything, the date, and my Instagram there. So I shot this in HDR. So let me see if I can get the details. There you go. Pro XDR Dolby Vision. There it is. So the content is super bright. Now let me load up this. This is the original file, but let me load up the actual video. I was having a cheese. Now here's the actual video. Now let's go up here and put it in HDR 4K. It's looking lovely. And again, this phone doesn't shoot in 7x6 or 9x10, but still beautiful content. Beautiful content. You can see here that it's actually shooting in 4K. It's playing in 4K HDR. It's a beautiful thing. Now, if I switch it over to this display, it obviously looks a heck of a lot better. I can zoom a little bit, and then you get the beautiful, beautiful HDR content. So the cameras on this phone, the software is OnePlus software, basically. That's the best way I can say it. There's options, but there's not as many options that, like, the one option that I would love to see is 4K portrait video. but it just doesn't do it yet. But it has 1080p portrait video, but some options in here, man. You've got high res. This is where you're gonna take a high res photo. You can even do it at 3x zoom, which is a 50 megapixel. And then you've got movie. And I actually shot with movie, man. I was testing it out, and I was like, what the heck? So I shot with movie, and I was like, if I want to film myself, I'm gonna have to do it in the wide angle. Just to get, I have long arms. I could do it with the regular zoom, but I did it with the wide angle, and it's actually really good. This is like a pro movie type deal if you want to shoot with it. So it's cool. It's a nice little thing to have. It's all right, but it comes down to what if I'm going to shoot in widescreen on something like this. This is what I'm going to use this for. So you can use the cover display and everything too. Nothing too crazy in these settings right here. I just wish it had portrait video at 4K, and that's just something with OnePlus as a whole, Oppo that is. And so it automatically defaults to 1080p at 30, which 1080p 30 is the default setting that a lot of people should be in when they're shooting. But even if you switch to HDR, boom, it goes away. No portrait video and anything like that. So other phones can do portrait video with HDR. I'm hoping that, a software update or something like that could fix this one. But the content is beautiful. I was taking some photos, just, shooting some stuff. And I mean, the cameras are good to me. I like the way I showed that the cameras are good is, like I said, I shot a video with this phone, and you just watch it. I shot the iPhone case video with Rinky with this phone, and that is how I come to some of the conclusions that whether it's good or not. Because yeah, I'm in a controlled setting, but even outside, this phone is really gonna bang, and I will take it outside on some sunny days and shoot videos of the cars or just whatever I'm shooting. But it is good, folks. Let me show you a short clip I did. Better yet, some of these photos here. This is really nice footage. There's more in there. I'm just trying to make sure. But this is nice footage, folks. I don't see the problem with the cameras. I really don't. I think sometimes people can be a little critical, but it is what it is. And I think the cameras hit hard. I think they're a really good set of cameras, and I don't have any complaints with them. Now let's talk about battery. Ooh, I got an update waiting. This phone has been up. If this is, this is the second update. I was gonna tell you, this phone got an update right out of the box. So this one right here tells you what it does. Because I was gonna talk about the software in a second here after battery, but we'll go ahead and do software. This one says it improves system stability, fixes issues where there's always on display app that may close unexpectedly. I'm not having any of these issues, but someone reported it or they found it. And so that's how it goes. Improves camera performance for a better user experience. Okay. So this is my second update on this phone. I'm not going to update it right now, but let's talk about the software then. So software, I don't use this slide out bar right here. I just, being honest, I go into, because I don't use it on Samsung and LG and all the other ones that was already doing it. But it is useful, man. So I leave mine on the auto hide. Now you can have it to where it's always pronounced there, and you can actually put some things in there that you might feel like you need to use on the quick. But I would just say, like, put an icon for it. I mean, that's just me. I would forget this, and I always forget it, which is why I put it to auto hide. And you can see it just disappears right here, just disappears. So I keep it to auto hide because I'm not going to use it. I rather just have an icon like this and just have it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a nice little feature. But if I don't use it on other OEMs that already have had it before this phone, I won't use it on this phone. But it is nice to have. So here's an instance where you might want to use that. You just want a clean screen with nothing but the 4 icons at the bottom, or just clean screen period, and that's where you're going to store everything. Okay, well you just have this clean look on your device. That might be a use case scenario for it, but I don't see myself using that too much at all. I really don't. So software wise, this is just OnePlus. I mean, it's it's a good, nice, and I'm used to the Oppo software and everything. So you have all these different things you can do to customize. And when you see this, you just see OnePlus because Oppo is OnePlus. That's just what it is. So the software is feature packed and loaded, but it's not like overly done. It's enough to keep me entertained to where I want to switch it up every now and then. I'm like, hey, okay, let's go in here and let's switch these icons to a different style. Let's go to square. Let's go to something like that. Let's go to shadow. I mean, like, it's something that you could do. Let's go to material. This would just be the icons if you just saw what happened there. So you look here, see how the icons that's just a camera, that's just photos, and then you go to some of the other icons that are by default. That's how they look. But for me, you can see how that's what it'll be. But I just use the Pebble because it's just the circle ones. It's just something simple, something light like that. But you can change and customize this thing any way you want to, man. You can change it any way you want to. There's so many things in this phone. It can be customized. You got all these different ones down here you could do. These are the system ones. I chose this one right here because I think that digital clock was pretty clean. I used to use this Insight 1 a lot, but when you see an icon in there like that, it shows that there's 3 of them. That's what it does. That's why you see like a number by it. Okay, so you see that 3. So when I go in here, there's 3 different things in here like this. But I don't use these because I don't want to burn the battery too much with the always on display. But some of these are fire. This is really nice. I just think this one is kind of cool, man. You can go through all these customizations that you could possibly think of, man. And there's also, this one's pretty nice right here. I like that one. There's also like aftermarket ones that you can get in the App Store and things like that. Because this is Android, so you can customize this any way you want to. And I just feel like the software is good, man. Like I don't see the need to change it up too much or do something too crazy with it. I think it's nice. Let's switch to this one right here. We'll switch to that one for a little bit. Yeah, we'll do this right here. And then you got the always on display set there. So customizations and the performance of the software, and not just customizations, but the performance of the software, it's good, folks. It's freaking good. I have no quarrels about it. So if you want to apply themes, this is what it's going to be. You go in and you customize how you're going to do it or whatever, and then you just change it all how you want to do it. You can switch to this display right here to show you our display to show you what it's going to look like or whatever. But the software is feature packed for a person that's not too technical, but it's feature packed enough to where it'll keep you entertained. Does that make sense? Yeah. So let's apply this theme right here just to do it, just because, and then you see what it looks like. And then when you open it up, this is what you're working with. It didn't change my, a lot of things. It just changed the actual theme of it. So, and then if I go, let's see if I can get the always on display to come on. That's what it looks like. Yeah. So, and you can actually, customize that. Like you should be able to go in here like this and change it like this. Just chill. Stay real. Own it. Inhale, exhale. Pause and reset. All these different things in here. Inspiration ahead, breathe, me time. It's some pretty cool things in here, man. I mean, it's just a matter of, let's go ahead and rock with this joint here. I'll just put it like this. I'm just changing it and customizing it just so you can see. And I'm saying, like, this is something that you could do if you choose to go in here. Boom, there it is. That's what it looks like. It's good. So the software, and this is just all the default stuff here. But the software is good, man. Now I want to talk about battery. The battery life has been way better than I expected it to be. So with this being a foldable, this has a 5,600 milliamp hour battery. And folks, I fast charge it when I do charge it. I really like this thing. I could easily get a day and a half now that it's starting to settle in a little bit. I know it's still new, but I think over time, this phone is going to give me minimum, like let's just say 2 years go by, I'll still be getting over a day, I believe, because I don't think the degradation will be that bad. But I got to tell you, I'm way more impressed with this battery life than I thought I was going to be. And I just say I'm easily getting a day and a half, but I'm getting more than a day and a half. But if I work it hard and I'm really banging on it hard, it's not going to last a day and a half. It's not going to last like 2-3 days. It maybe give me a solid day, or I have to charge at the end of that day, ending it out with like 20% or something like that. But it's not going to be a full 36 hours if you're hitting it really hard. It depends though, because it depends on what kind of user you are. If you're doing light gaming and not using the camera, or definitely when you use the camera on any phone, it works the battery over. It works the battery over and it pulls a lot of energy. So if you don't use the camera that day or those few days that you got it, which I doubt because these cameras are so good. But if you don't use your camera, video, I guess I should say, and then you just take a couple calls every now and then, respond to a couple of texts, it can last you for a few days, possibly. And also, if you don't have a lot of apps on your phone, if you don't have a lot of apps, it could last you. It could last you. So I just feel like this battery to me is a 36-hour battery regardless. Based on the user that I am, this is a 36-hour battery. 36-hour battery, easy. If you want to win one of these, oh, wait, network. I'm going to put in a different SIM card. Now, I've already used this on Visible. Now I'm going to put it on Mint. I'm going to take my SIM card out of the Z Fold Special Edition real quick. And I want to show you this on Mint. Because some people have asked, folks, network depends on your location and if you can use it on the carrier. So you already know this works on Visible. I've already put the SIM card in there and showed you that it works on Visible. Put this in here. It works on Visible. Let me turn off airplane mode. I'm gonna turn off the internet there for Wi-Fi. Let's see what happens when it tries to load up Mint Mobile. It's already on 4G. It's on 5G. It's got the 5G logo for Mint Mobile. So Mint Mobile, I believe, runs on AT&T's network. I don't know too much about Mint Mobile. I'm pretty sure I can just Google it, but nonetheless, from my understanding, it works on AT&T's network. And Visible Wireless works on Verizon network. So folks, as you can see here, even though I'm using it on Visible, getting really good speeds, there's no guarantee that where you live at, you might get the same speeds as me. So Mint Mobile, you know what I'm saying? I use it on Mint Mobile, right? And it's not just about speeds for me. I talk about speed tests and stuff like that because that's what some people want to hear. And it's registering because I'm getting a SIM card. You know, when you swap SIM cards, certain carriers will send you the message saying, hey, you just popped your SIM in here. Like, let's get you set up on this. And it'll register on the network. That way data and everything will start up and everything will be fine. So it worked because I got that message. That's what that message is going to be, saying, hey, you know, whatever the default message is. But I think when it comes to importing a phone, especially if you have T-Mobile, they let you run anybody on their network. But the sub companies like Mint Mobile and all these other basically prepaid carriers, a lot of them don't check much. I've used my Visible Wireless on every unlocked phone I have, just about, and almost 99% of the time it works. The only time the Visible Wireless phone gave me trouble was with those rugged phones. The rugged phones that I review, only one of those phones worked with 5G. Now, these phones have all the bands, but that doesn't mean it's going to work in your area perfectly. So if you're importing this phone, make sure your carrier is what it is and make sure you have a physical SIM card. That's my advice to you. Make sure you have a physical SIM card. That is what I highly recommend to you. You can run these speed tests all you want to. It doesn't mean anything. It's as long as the data is working. As soon as I want to run a speed test, oh man, as soon as I know this phone works on Mint because I know the people that have used it on Mint, and I think some people have gotten away with using it on AT&T. I might need to check the settings on it. Let's go into the settings. Let's go to network. But it definitely will work. Let me pause and get into the network so I don't leave my phone number here. So yeah, the network is fine. It automatically went to that. And let me go to the APN settings. Now, I assume these are the settings for Mint Mobile. This because when I put my visible SIM card, obviously it changes to something else. But still reveal my phone number, but just don't call me. Okay, it was running the speed test in the back right there, but you can see the speeds that I'm getting here on Mint Mobile. This is inside my house. This is pretty good, man. This is actually really decent. Like you don't even need really more than 50 to have a comfortable run. You really don't. You don't need more than 50. You know what I'm saying? Like 100 down. Like if this is a thing for you, you'll be fine, man. If you're afraid to import one of these phones, man, don't be. Put my SIM card back because I got to put the other SIM card back in here, my visible joint. Don't be afraid to import one of these phones, folks. I like to do things real time sometimes for you because I just want to show you. But don't be afraid to import one of these phones. I'm not saying that to just try to sway you to buy one, because you can win one of these. With the link in the description, you can win your own. Pay a couple dollars, win you one. You can even win one of these. Yep. You can win one of these. You could win one of these. So, link in the description. If you decide you want to enter the giveaway, there's a link down there. Enter that giveaway. Pay a couple dollars. Don't go to Burger King. It was a funny comment. Somebody said, "I feel called out, man. I was eating McDonald's while you was talking about that." Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna shout this person out now. Let me see if I can find it before I get out of here. Shout out to this cat right here, man. Silverblade 43 said, "I was eating McDonald's and I was watching this. I feel called out." Like for real, that's funny. Yeah, he was watching the giveaway video that was out recently. So anyway, man, if you definitely are into these phones and you don't want to spend the grip, you know what I'm saying? Like you're having trouble with it. It doesn't even matter. You already got one. You want to get another one and flip yours, whatever. You just don't have one. All of these phones right here, the giveaway is live. Enter in the giveaway, folks. Don't go to McDonald's. Don't be like Blade 43, Joy. Go to McDonald's. Don't go to McDonald's. Take that $5 and get you an entry in here, man. Get you 50 entries right now. And later on, going to boost it up to maybe 500 for 5. But right now, don't know when we're going to do that. So get in where you fit in, because if I don't boost it, then you need to get your entry in there. So shout out to all the cats that already entered. And ladies and gentlemen, I should say, shout out to ladies, gentlemen that already entered. Your entry's coming in. But you can enter. If you don't have to spend $5. You can spend $20 if you want to. And that's just more entries for you. So I want to clarify some things because a lot of people don't watch the videos. And even if I have it titled a certain way, so people still don't get it, man. Just go straight to that keyboard and start click, 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 click. Folks, this is worldwide, international. Worldwide means anyone can enter. Anyone can enter. So pay your $5, pay your $10, pay your $15, $20, $30, whatever you want to give in on the giveaway. You're going to win one of these. And someone had another question saying, well, who gets to pick what phone? Folks, whoever gets picked first and so on, they get first pick of the litter. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a simple thing. If Johnny B wins first, he gonna probably be like, I want the Galaxy Z Fold 6 special edition. Or Johnny B could be like, I take that Oppo. Anything. Then Sammy comes along. Sammy says, hey, look, I'll take what's left. This all that's left? Give me that Pixel. And so on and so on. So the last person that gets chosen out of the 4 people that wins, they get whatever's left on the table. But I can guarantee you, a lot of people are probably going to pick this phone first. This thing is about as stupid as it comes, man. One of the brightest displays ever. This thing is just sickness. So with that in mind, man, I really hope you guys enjoyed a 7-day follow-up. You owe it to yourself to try to win one of those 4 phones. It's all on you. Don't go to McDonald's today. Don't go to Burger King. Especially don't go to no Taco Bell. All that junk food, it's bad for you folks. It's bad for you. Win you a phone. You can save yourself a couple grand by spending $10, $15, $20. You never know. You might win. First giveaway is already done. Follow us on Tech A Day Giveaway on Instagram. Follow me on Mr. jwilliams and Smartphone Conversations. You need to be following all of those right there, because if something goes down, you'll be one of the first ones to know. And you definitely should be subscribed to my channel. I don't say that very often, but it'll be cool if you subscribed. But if you're here just to win the giveaway, hey, do your thing. Enter in as many times as you want. Follow me on Instagram if you don't want to follow me here. If you just like to come here to view and leave, so be it. Whatever it is, you do your thing. But this phone is fire right here. I'll be following up with the Z Fold Special Edition follow-up. Been banging that out, man. Oh, man, it's nuts. I think right now, some would probably argue that this is probably the best foldable in the market right now. And it's just because it's like a slab phone. It's like a slab phone. It feels like a slab phone, because you start to compare it next to some other phones, and it just feels like a slab. Let me get my OnePlus 13. Feels like a slab phone. Looks like a slab phone. Then you turn to the side, you're like, oh snap, that's a foldable. You see how thin this phone is next to the OnePlus 13? Is that nuts or what? See if I can stand them up. Ooh, I can stand them both up. Stay still, y'all. Look at that. That's freaking nuts right there, son. That is nuts. This phone is so thin next to the OnePlus. It's incredible. Just incredible, man. Like, this is probably going to go down as one of the best phones in the game. Folding phones, that is. And I know we got a lot of stuff coming. You got the tri-fold phone. You got a whole bunch of several tri-fold phones. But you just think about it, man. You think about it. Links in the description to go ahead and enter that giveaway. I suggest you really do so while it's still going on right now. It's only going to run for maybe 6-7 weeks. Maybe we'll decide. If a lot of entries pour in, maybe we'll pick somebody early. I don't know. It's up to you. Let's get those entries in, though. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.